The Vatican Observatory recently announced that it has spotted a new object orbiting the sun. A Jesuit priest made the discovery last December. It is called a Trans-Neptunian Object. That is because it orbits the sun at a further point than the planet Neptune, which is the furthest known planet in the solar system. This new TNO is at least 3.3 billion miles from the sun, and it may provide clues into the formation of the solar system. Joining us now is Chris Graney, astronomer and historian of science with the Vatican Observatory. Chris, welcome. Thank you so much for your time today. Can you tell us more about this recent discovery, and how did the priest find it? I mean, and why could it be so important?
Well, it's a discovery of what's called a Trans-Neptunian Object. It's got the current designation 2021 XD7. It may be given a name, a proper name in the future. It was discovered by Father Richard Boyle, who is an astronomer who's been on the staff of the Vatican Observatory for decades. And he was using the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope, which is atop Mount Graham in Arizona. It's in Arizona, by the way, not in Rome, because of the issues with light pollution. In the 1990s, the telescope was established there. And he does a search for asteroids and small objects in the solar system using that telescope, and found it in December. Noticed it in a photograph early in December, and there were some clouds and stuff that delayed a follow-up observation. So later on in the month, he was able to find it. I believe while he had been snowed in up there from because a snowstorm had dumped some snow on the rather rugged road that goes up there. So it's a Trans-Neptunian object. It's cool in and of itself. The hunt for small objects is important, both on a big scale, because the ones out past Neptune are thought to be very old objects that can tell us stuff about the formation of the solar system. Their behavior can tell us, for example, if there might be another planet out past Neptune. Small objects like asteroids that are in closer are also of interest, and also of practical interest. There's a sort of an active program to hunt for these, because you wouldn't want one to, every once in a while, one of these collides with Earth, and that's not, it's good to know if there's any that might do that. So that's a very practical reason for looking for those.
I tell you, it's so fascinating. What was the reaction among colleagues and also in the community at large to this discovery?
Well, there is, I hate to make it sound boring, but finding one of these, it actually took some time. So he had to look, he had to go back and check again, and someone a colleague did some calculations for the orbit, and so on and so forth. So it actually sort of unfolded slowly, and only then it was like, hey, yeah, we found a Trans-Neptunian object. But it's not the first one that the Vatican Observatory has found. The same astronomer, Father Boyle, found another one about 10 years ago, which now has a designation of Pramsius. And so, this is another piece of a puzzle, adding to our knowledge of these objects. Not so much like something that, someone's going to jump up and down and yell eureka about. That image of science isn't probably really that accurate anyway.
We have probably about a minute or left, but I want to talk about this because I think a lot of people may not be aware that the Vatican Observatory is actually one of the oldest active in the world. Can you tell us a little bit more about the work that you all do there?
Yes, the Vatican Observatory dates back into the 1500s. It was set up as part of the calendar reform that gave us the Gregorian calendar. The Vatican's been involved with running an observatory through in different ways over the time since then. The modern observatory was established in the late 19th century, and originally it was established by Pope Leo XIII. This was after the Vatican lost its territory in the unification of Italy, and then the observatory was set up in the late 19th century. The telescopes were originally on the walls of the Vatican itself. They were moved to Castel Gandolfo in the 1930s because of the problem of artificial lighting around Rome. And then in the 1990s, as the artificial lighting problem continued to grow, a telescope was set up in partnership with the University of Arizona on Mount Graham in Arizona in the United States.
So interesting. Well, Chris, thanks so much for coming on and sharing all this with us. We really appreciate it. Chris Graney, astronomer and historian of science with the Vatican Observatory. Thank you again.